All right, guys, welcome to Draw105.com. This is your girl, China Mari. I am so excited today, and I'm always excited when I get to interview someone. But today is a little special because I'm married, and I know a lot of people that are married. And I'm sitting here with this great, exciting couple that I found out about today and the other day. And I'm like stalking you guys' IG, trying to find out everything. I just love everything about it. I just want to welcome you guys, Obi and Belinda. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we go ahead all into this interview.
All right, guess you want to go?
You got it, baby.
Okay, so basically, we are Obi and Belinda Indu. We are the founders of Marriage Academy, and we are the parents. We're serial entrepreneurs, and we our full time job is helping people, and also parenting. We have a whole football team of children, so we're excited to be here. So thank you for the opportunity.
Great. Well, one of the first things I saw again is called My Marriage Academy.
Yes.
Okay, My Marriage Academy. And I know you guys probably have a lot of what helped you start it, but what was the main reason you guys started? A lot of people don't like dealing with married folk. I know in my age range, they don't. And a lot of people think marriage is boring. It's just so much going on about marriage now. And here you guys are, you have a whole academy. So,
Yeah.
what inspired you guys to start this academy to help marriages?
Wow. Okay. So I guess I'll go.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So basically, when we first got married, we had all our single friends, and that was fine. And we had our ways of being that didn't necessarily serve our union. So we realized when we hit like the hardest times in our marriage, we really didn't have any, the right resources or community to really support us to keep us married. Our single friends was giving us single people's advice, and
Right.
I'm not mad at them. It's just that they gave us what they knew. So we wanted to create something to where individuals who are just getting started in their marriage or been around for a while can come together with a community of people that actually love marriage and going to give you the support and the advice and just the positivity that you need to let you know that hey, marriages can last if you follow blueprint. And if you don't come in just trying to do your own thing, it does take compromise. It does take working together. So we kind of just brought that up together and created Marriage Academy. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus, for us too, one of the things that's present is, a lot of times in life, if something happens, let's say right now, it might upset me, but it probably won't upset you. So
Mm,
we've always had this belief that if something is upsetting you, it's because God wants you to fix it. Because
Right.
it doesn't upset everybody; it's upsetting you. So one of the challenges that we saw was the divorce rate kept going up and up. I think it's at like
right.
60% now. And that was
Mm,
upsetting to us. So we decided, hey, let's do something about it. Let's not be one of these people that complains and says things about it, but does nothing about it. So that was the other reason that was there for us. And plus, we both came from broken homes,
yeah.
and so we know that marriage is a place where broken people come to get healed. And
Yeah.
so, for us, we didn't want our kids to have the experiences we had. We want them to see mom and dad together.
Yeah.
We want them to see us struggle and work it out and find our way back to love, as opposed to the example they're seeing. Oh, they've got issues. Oh, that's okay. I'm out. I'll get somebody else. So we
Mm.
decided to be the example rather than just sit down and complain.
Now, I hear you guys talk about the blueprint, and I'm sure the blueprint is very extensive. But could you give us a small snippet of the blueprint of marriage? What are you guys using? Because you guys are happily married, you're a beautiful couple.
Thank you.
What are you guys doing to help everyone to, stay afloat?
Yeah, just really encouraging and people to respect the rules. There's,
Mm,
fundamental rules in everything. I mean, you're gonna stay out of jail if you abide by the laws of the land. You'll stay married if you abide by, the laws of marriage. So there are certain laws and certain blueprint. And so what we did is we put it together in a 5 module video series, and we
that's
kind of
right.
Yeah.
and we kind of
True.
just I mean that's really what it is because we sat down and we're like, what are the major things that people need to know about in marriage?
Mm,
That's what we're like, okay, We hear all the time, people that have been married 30, 40 years. Oh, what's the thing that makes your marriage work? And everyone says communication.
Yeah.
But
Mm,
ask, what does that mean? People can't really, expound on what it means and how to successfully carry out successful communication in your union. So it's
mm,
not just talking to your spouse and saying, hey, here's my plans for today. But no, when you're bothered, when you're troubled, when you're having an issue, is really discussing that thing with your spouse from a place of love, from a place of not blame, from a place of, hey, I want to be accountable, not just to you about my whereabouts, but to also
mm.
showing up for me, what's present for me, what you did really impacted me. So we take
Right.
it to another level. We keep it real. We share, put all our dirty laundry out there because we're not perfect. You know,
Right.
we feel like we are soulmates, but our union was created and bonded through the trenches of life. So we've been through some things, and we're not afraid to share that. So
Yeah.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Belinda, I was watching one of your guys. Well, actually, I think I saw all the videos. Uh, I'm sorry. It was great content. Some of the greatest content I've seen in a long time.
wow,
Thank you.
Um, you had mentioned that you were married before.
yes,
And I see a lot of women that have been married get damaged and
yeah.
don't want to go into the next marriage. What
Hmm.
were some of the tools that you used to thrive in the marriage you're in now?
Man, first of all, before I even came to this marriage, I had to be ready.
Come
Um,
on.
we got to get that as women, when we're leaving a situation, we're only going to attract the same type of situation that we just left. We don't give ourselves the time that we need to heal. And I needed that. So leaving such a trying
Yeah.
situation, I had to, kind of slow down for a minute and pay attention to myself and just say, what is it that I need to do as a woman to get better so that I now operate at a different level and at a different frequency. So I no longer attract Negroes like that or men, or men like that. So I know I needed to become someone better. So I literally focused on my personal life, on my personal goals, on my relationship with God and my relationship with myself. I needed to
Mm,
not just communicate to myself who I am and where I'm going, but also be able to clearly paint a clear picture and direction of where I'm going and who I am to the world. So it wasn't until I did that to where I was able to actually attract someone that was a mentor for me. So it was
mm,
amazing, and he was actually my dream guy, and
mm.
yeah, he was he mentored me for years in business, and we dated for a year and a half, but he broke up with me. I wasn't that, but it's true, babe.
I didn't say a word. I
It's
just
true.
smiled.
He
I
I
did.
just
love it. I love it. I love the honesty. I love how you also said heal. I'm always speaking that to I have a women's empowerment group, and I'm always speaking to them about healing. And
Yeah.
you mentioned that, and I have to contain myself. I wanted to run all over this room, but I can't. I got to be professional. But you said you had to heal. Why is healing so important? People don't get healed and go into another relationship and expect to get that person to heal them. But you
Mm,
said you made sure you were healed before that.
absolutely, because we're only going to attract another person to the level of our emotional health. And the thing
Mm,
that we look so good on the outside, we look so put together on the outside, but our relationships tell the real story. Because
yeah.
here's the deal. We can say, oh, well, we have a mutual attraction, but what really is going to call that person to you or you to that person is your inner being. It's your spirit. Like, you connect spiritually. And a lot of us, we think that we can just get things right on the outside and have the right job, have the right career, and leave the inside alone. The inside look like a big old mess.
Mm,
But then our relationships actually tell the whole story. Now, that doesn't mean that once we get into those relationships, they can't be repaired, because they absolutely can. But it's just a matter of knowing that once you get there, if you didn't do the work prior to coming to that relationship, it's going to be a lot harder to maintain.
right.
So,
Right. I love how you put that. Great answer. I love that. Mr. Obi,
yes, ma'am.
I got to ask you this because
Yeah.
before I did this, I was talking to some people about it and they were like, ask him this, ask him this. I said, I can't ask him all of that, but let me just, you know, because this is great what you guys are doing. It's great. It's
thank you.
literally unheard of, especially in this time. So I wanted to know, what advice would you give men that are struggling with lust, that are struggling keeping one woman? What advice would you give a man? I mean, is it possible for them to stay committed or not committed? What is it? What's going on? Because a lot of today's marriage includes 3 and 4 people. Let's just be honest. So how are you, as the man, as the king of your house, keeping that intact?
That's a very good question, and thank you for being so straightforward.
Of course.
The first thing I would say to men is that lustful feeling, those sexual urges,
Entanglement.
yeah.
Hey.
There's that word of the century right now, right? I would say to them, nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. See, that's the first part of it, for not just for men, but for women too. A lot of women look at men as, oh, he's a freak, or he's perverted. No, God designed us the way he did to think about sex. What is it? Once every 3 minutes or something of that nature? We were designed that way. But see, where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. So if you don't understand the purpose of a thing, you're going to abuse it. It's just like a refrigerator, right? I'm not going to put my child in the refrigerator. No, I'm going to put the food that I feed my child in the refrigerator. But I got to know the rules of the refrigerator. So for us as men, we were designed that way because men, we go to find, how do I say this? We go where there's no path and we leave a trail. We're the ones that go out to provide or to protect or go out to get the food and bring it home back in the day. So the equivalent of that today would be a man working and doing things to help to serve his wife, to feed his family. But the thing with us is, because we're nomads in that way, God designed us to have this sexual urge to bring us back to our wife. But see, when I was growing up, my father wasn't around. He didn't teach me that. The men around me weren't talking about things like that. What they did was, oh, you didn't have sex? Come here, I got a girl for you. And it's like, oh, the more girls you have, the more notches on your belt, the more you're considered a man. But that was bastardized. That was somebody putting the baby in the refrigerator. They screwing up the whole system. And so the first thing would be, men, nothing is wrong. Second thing is, you are designed that way to pull you back to your wife so that you don't wander off too far. Third thing is, if you find in your mind, oh man, it's hard for me because I came up already having the notches on my belt. I came up messing with Susie on Sunday and Mandy on Monday and Tammy on Tuesday. I couldn't think of a name for Wednesday. But if you came up,
I got it. We get it.
Yeah, we'll get them. If we came up that way, hey, I know it's going to be hard to shift, to transition. So you need to put yourself in an environment that holds you accountable. Because we found out men who cheat, their friends cheat. Anybody who steals, their friends steal. In other words, there's a community for everything. So if you're in the community of men that are cheating, or men that are, still single and messing around with all these women, and you're trying to be a faithful guy, man, that's a slippery slope. You're going uphill with, grease on your feet. It's going to be hard. So what I would say to them, nothing's wrong. 2, understand the purpose of it. And 3, hey, let's get you in the right community so that it can support the proper behavior that you truly want. Because I know most men, they want to be loyal to their woman. They do. They really do. But they find it hard because, they listen to what's between their legs instead of what's on top of their neck.
Come on now. Love it. I also saw another video, The List. I think you guys' next book need to be The List, for real. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. But I loved it because, I never thought of it that way. You wrote your list, then he tells you to come back and write a second list. I know why that second list was so important, because I saw the video. And I wish that was like an hour long. You guys need to do longer videos. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. It just left me. I was like, I need more to this. But why was that second list, in your opinion, more important than what you wrote on the first list?
So I believe that is the case, because that is always the case. It's never out there. It's always what's in here. And this world that we live in with social media, TV, YouTube, nothing wrong with these resources, but they keep making us look out there. And you know what? I need a man that's going to be just like this. I need a woman that's going to be just like this. But how many times do we say, hey, what kind of man, what kind of woman do you have to be to attract a man or woman just like this? And so for me, the reason why that list is so important is that it's kind of how I look at money. Money only rises to where you are. So if you want more money, you got to become more, you got to become more, right? So just think about it. You see the people who win the lotto, right? They're used to being 30, 40,000 a year. Then all of a sudden they become a millionaire overnight. And then they make these foolish choices like buy a 24 karat gold car or put a 48 karat gold grill on the front of the car. And in 5 years, they owe more than they actually won. And you say, hold up, how did you go from zero to hero? And then in 5 years, you're back at zero. How?
Good point.
For life. It was because the money grew, but they didn't grow to the money, so it caught back up. So when you equate that to relationships and that second list of who do I have to be to attract that type of person, that's the same thing. It's saying, hey, let me be worthy of this type of individual. And guess what? Not only will I attract them, but they're going to stay. There won't be that divorce.
Right, right, right. Got you, got you. I love that. I just love it. Now, we are in a whole global pandemic, and it is crazy, obviously. And I'm thankful that I don't have the problems that I'm seeing a lot of marriages have. God just blessed me. It blessed. I thank God.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm enjoying my husband right now. If I don't go back to work, I'm good because I'm enjoying every bit of this with my husband. We actually like each other and we love each other.
That's right.
You know, so I want to know, how are you guys enjoying quarantining with each other? Have you been having any little spats or any little stuff that's coming up that you're now learning about each other during this pandemic and quarantining?
We actually have really been enjoying this time that we've been together. And of course, we had spats, but the fun thing about it is that they're really short, and we have the opportunity now because we have more time to talk them out a little bit more and learn new things about each other, because that's the thing in relationships, you never stop learning about each other. And some people just say, well, I'm never going to change, or I'm just going to say this is who I am. Well, not if you want to be married forever. You know, you got to constantly grow and and be willing to continue to learn about yourself and your partner. And so yeah, we learned a lot, and being in this quarantine has really helped us to spend more time together. We love it. It's been difficult because we just recently found out about our daughter. She's been diagnosed with leukemia, so we've been spending a lot of time at the hospital. It's been really challenging, but I man, this is when you're really going through things, you get to see who your partner or what your marriage is really made of. So I'm grateful that we have this quarantine time. We have the actual time to be the luxury of actually being there for our daughter in the way that we both need to. So there's been challenges, but I tell you, it's just been such a blessing to know that the work we've done in the past has allowed us to go through this moment or through this season.
Well, I honestly tip my hat off. I commend you guys for still going. You're going through that, but yet you're still promoting the success for marriage. And I hear you guys talking about God and how has that been such a major factor in this?
Well, I'll say this. I mean, even right now, my wife mentioned this. I don't know if you guys see, we have our hospital bracelets on. Like, we're doing this right now from the hospital. Our daughter is down the hall.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, you guys are at the hospital right now?
Yes, ma'am. We're here at the hospital.
And they're awesome. They gave us a room, a whole studio to do.
Yeah, so for us, I think this is the whole thing for us. This is the thing. This is real.
Yes.
And it's not just for social media. It's authentic. Like when the camera turns off, this is how we live. And I wanted to mention that because I feel like that's where the God part comes in, right? Anytime you have any two things, you need a third thing to hold it together. If I bring two pieces of wood, I need a nail. If I get paper and I want to have it stick on another, I need staple or glue. So how do you bring two people, a female and a male, grew up totally different their entire lives, and expect them to stay together without a third component? And for us, that third chair in our marriage is God.
Yeah.
And we know that without him, we couldn't even do this, because how would we get past the challenges that we had? You know, who is it that we can cry to? Yeah, we can call our mom and our friends and all that. But at the end of the day, they can't be here every day, all day.
Right.
And if you look and think about, the oldest reference of marriage is in the Bible. Right? So marriage is God's institution. One of the reasons that I feel like the divorce rate is so high, I'm not trying to get all religious, but we do have to have the spirituality part of this conversation.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Like, one of the reasons why the divorce rate is so high is because people are leaving God out of it. And when we start bastardizing the system, that's when we start putting the baby in the refrigerator. Because now when the refrigerator ain't working, I'm talking to the shoesmith. He knows nothing about the refrigerator. It's not even his thing. So why not talk to the creator of the institution, the manufacturer of the product, when you have issues? So for us, God is at the center of our marriage. And if we've noticed that when we've gotten lost in our marriage, it's because we stopped having him at the center.
Yeah.
We went in the other room.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so what we noticed was we would get confused when that would be the case. And maybe somebody listening to this can relate to that. You love him, but you're wondering why you're so angry, or why you hate him so much right now in this season. It's because that filter, that third party, God, is not there to soften your heart. You see, when I go to do something for my wife, yeah, it's going to make her feel good and she's going to appreciate it. But do you know that it softens my heart more than it does hers?
Wow.
So, but you see what I'm saying? It's that type of point of view. So we realize when we keep God in the center, the challenges fuse and they don't confuse. Thank you.
I just love you guys. I just want to take can we just do a virtual hug? Okay, good. I'm glad we got that out the way. Now back to this.
Yeah.
Sis, I saw a post and you said, "Are you qualified?" I love that. You sound like my mama right there. And you said, and I love the way you said it. I almost just went through the screen. You said, when you said he wants to be treated like a king, but you acting like a thug. Can you speak on it, sis? Can you teach a little bit on that, please? Come on.
It goes back to the premise. It goes back to that foundation. It's like, who are you being? And are you really in a position to attract the things you desire? I mean, there are times in our marriage that my husband wanted to be treated like a king, but he acted like a thug. That's
Come on.
So I'm like, well, no, see, you have to be in alignment with what you want. So it's just a matter of really communicating to him that, okay, I get that these are the things you desire. I desire this. And it was for the same thing for me too. I couldn't come to the table saying that, hey, I want this, I want that, or here's how I want you to treat me. And yet I'm being disrespectful. I'm talking down to you. I'm being demonizing. I'm emasculating you. Like, all those things matter. And so often us as women, we use our tongue to beat down, and men, they use their words and their anger. And sometimes it can even get physical. In the event someone's in that situation, I definitely encourage them to leave to get in a better situation to where they feel safe. However, each sex has their weapons that they use and bring to the relationship. So definitely being qualified is making sure you're bringing the best you to the table and learning the best way to speak your spouse's love language. I mean, that's the best way to put it, really.
Love it. Now, I'm going to get a little touchy with this next question.
Yes.
I've been hearing a lot, and you guys are just keeping it real and raw, and a lot of women need this. A lot of women I know that are married, and some that I don't know. I'm hearing all about it over the news. They said one of the main things a lot of police are getting called for in the home is domestic violence.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just, a lot of women don't know what to do, where to turn.
Yeah.
And as a man, I just don't know, like, what is it? What can a woman do, especially when they want their marriage, but they're in a domestic violence situation? And it's just a lot. What do you guys have to add to that?
Yeah, I'll jump in here.
Okay.
I'll say this, and I can speak to the men.
Yes.
But before I even say that, I'll say this. I grew up in a household where the first 13 years of my parents' marriage, my father was physically abusive to my mom.
Wow.
And they separated. They haven't been married now for almost 30 years.
Mm.
But I don't say that for applause or anything. I'm being vulnerable. I'm being transparent with you all
Right.
in saying that, hey, if you yeah, exactly. As a child, I was there. I saw it. And it doesn't just damage the mother or the wife and the husband.
Yes.
Us to work on the kids too. And not saying that the kids want to go, the boys want to go do that to their wives. It could be. That's definitely a possibility. It's not saying that the girls say, you know what, if a guy put his hands there, I'm going to shoot him. It could be. But what I'm saying is, it could be. And so think about it this way, men, because God did make us physically stronger. Sometimes you do have a female who may be stronger, but in most marriages, the man is stronger. And that strength he gave you is not for you to use it on her. It's for you to use it to protect her. And that's the thing, you know, because even with our sons, you know, we've got 3 girls and 4 boys. And for us, what our thing is, look, boys, protect your sisters.
Yes.
Even the word says it, they're the weaker vessel. Not that they're not equal. You guys are equal to us, but we're supposed to protect you and not hurt you. So one of the things that a woman needs, it's funny, my wife just said it, one of a woman's number one need is security. And it's not just security. Most men think is, well, I got the bag, Obi, I'm rich, I got money. She's safe.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one level of security.
Mm.
The other level of security is for her to know that she can lose her mind with you and you won't lose yours. It's to know that she can go wacky because her emotions are being overwhelming for her, and she knows that, you know what, you're going to be cool.
Yes.
And I have to learn that. You know what I'm saying? I have to learn that because as men, when we get angry, we don't necessarily become emotional. We get physical. That's how a man lets out his anger. And see, anger is natural. You're allowed to feel it. But just like the Bible says, be angry, but sin not.
Yes.
And that's the part we forget. We remember be angry, but we forget sin not. And so use your hands, gentlemen. Use your hand, brothers, to protect your boo, not to put it on her. Look, if you're that angry, punch the wall. Go outside and take a walk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, go run some laps and burn that sucker off. Go to the gym. There are other ways that are healthy to let that emotion out. Because I get it. I'm a guy. This time when I'm that way too, I'm like, you know, I gotta go. You know, because you're seeing red. So my advice to the brothers is, look, man, use that to protect her. Don't use it on her. And if you have to let it out, go somewhere else. And ladies, if you find yourself in that situation over and over, it's time to make some tough choices. I'm not telling you you need to go get a divorce. I'm just saying you may need to do something different because no matter how much love you have, that is not right. There are boundaries. Right? I could be doing 65 miles an hour on the highway. I'm within my legal limits. But if I'm doing 65 on the shoulder of the highway, the police officer is going to pull me over. He's not going to say, oh, you were speeding. He's going to say you were speeding in the wrong area because I stepped out of line. And that's the thing that I want to communicate is that there's still boundaries to this thing. And that's what we mean by staying involved in things like this, where you can learn the rules and understand it. Because most of us were handed down a system by our parents that that's not the way that marriage is intended to be.
Right.
Good point. Good point.
And I just want to speak to the ladies for a quick moment.
Yes, please. Please.
Just understanding, like, I believe that it's so important for us as women to be responsible for the atmosphere that's present in our home. So sometimes that's going to look like us having to, you know, be creative. Understand your husband's hot points. And I'm being really practical now. Okay. Very, very practical because a lot of women, they, you know, when I talk to them, they really want tools on how to get through situations when they come, you know. And sometimes husbands, they just need a little help. Okay. So understand what the things that are trigger points for him. And he needs to understand what are trigger points for you. Like, what are those things that he does that make you feel unsafe? What are the things that you do that tick him off? You know, it's okay. I mean, the men are still human, so there could be some things that could trigger certain behaviors in him. So like you guys, when you're in a good place, be okay with sitting down, wife, I'm talking to the women, sitting your husband down and say, babe, when okay, I know we're in a good space now. We haven't had a fight in a couple of months, but when it happened, it really made me feel unsafe. What happened? Like, what did I say? And I know we're in a good place now, but what did I say to trigger that? Is there something I said? And if that's the case, then, make sure that you don't speak to him and, that you're avoiding those trigger points for your boo. I mean, it's just is what it is.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that if you're with an abusive man and he's blaming you for things that completely are not your responsibility.
Okay.
Understand the difference, okay? Because there are some men that are just abusive and they're going to blame you for things that are not your responsibility. However,
That's true.
When we grew up in our homes, and we have very strong, passionate women, and sometimes we didn't see the right way how to properly communicate to our husbands or to our men in a way to where they still feel edified, and yet we still communicate what it is that's bothering us, yet we're still communicating what it is that we need or what we desire. Sometimes we feel like we have to de-edify in order to get our point across, or sometimes we feel that they're going in the wrong direction. We just can't shut up. You know what I mean? So it's not just about checking him. It's also us as well, because marriage is a two-way street. It takes both people to come together to create a healthy, happy marriage, and both people have to be participants on each side. So it's important to have that conversation and understand the differences, and know the difference between, like, him saying, well, babe, you know what, it just reminded me of something 2 years ago when you said this, and then you ended up doing this, and I never talked to you about it, but that triggered that thought. So let's talk about that and let me heal from it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I just don't like your tone, or whatever the situation is. You got to make sure that it's still healthy and it's encouraging.
Yes.
A healthy response and healthy behavior, and rather than dysfunction in marriage. So.
Right. I'm glad you explained the difference. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
I want to say one quick thing, and because
Go ahead.
is really strong, and at the heart of what she's talking about is communication.
Yes.
We feel. Let me say this to you. Coming up in our marriage, every time I met a couple, how long y'all been married? And if they said anything that was in the double digits or more, I would always ask questions in terms of, how do you make it work? They know nothing about our background, any of that. So I want to learn. I want to grow. And the one that always hit the mark most of the time, maybe 7 to 8 out of 10 times, was communication. And so we even found out in our marriage, even with all the things we know, we really weren't communicating. And here's the advice I want to give people, because a lot of these things that we're talking about are just symptoms. They're not even the problem.
Come on now.
Kind of like, if you got a cold, the stuff running out your nose, the mucus is not the cold. That's the symptom of the germ. The germ is what you got to get rid of. And so the germ is only way to get to the germ of the problem is communication. So here's the advice I want to give folks that are listening. Hope you hear this. I'm going to keep this real simple. Just because your lips are moving does not mean you're communicating. Can you say that
again, please?
Sure. Just because your lips are moving does not mean you're communicating. And that's the challenge we have. So you think about even the things that lead to people getting into a physical altercation. It's usually some misunderstanding. They're usually trying to talk about something went wrong in the communication. And a lot of times, like me as an example, one of the things I used to do in the beginning was raise my voice. And I'm thinking, because I'm saying it louder, I'm saying it better.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's not just keeping it real. That's not
right.
In fact, it's been proven that once your tone goes over a certain level, you no longer even know exactly what you want to say, and the person that you're speaking to shuts down because they don't hear.
Wow.
Communication is already stopped, even though your lips are moving, even though you're saying exactly what's present for you. So again, just because your lips are moving doesn't mean you're communicating. We've got to look at that word, communication. Am I really taking the time to share with my mate what is up and what's present for me? And as the mate that is listening, am I sitting there doing these?
Yes.
Wow. Speak on it, bro. Speak on it.
You know what I'm saying? Because
It's true. It's true.
yeah, because communication means a transmitter and a receiver. So I could be getting better at transmitting better. But if I'm the one talking and she's not receiving me well, we still have a communication breakdown. So it's on both sides in terms of speaking and listening, truly putting your thoughts aside. Best advice I'll give, and I'll be quiet on this. In terms of the listening, because we all know about the talking. In terms of the listening, my one of my best friends, Carlos Spencer, this is what he says all the time. Listening, if you're truly listening, here's what it looks like. It means that you're listening to what the other person is saying so well that you're willing to forget what you had to say back. I think we lost the audio.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
I wasn't speaking. I'm blown away right now.
It's the truth.
Okay.
It's the truth.
Yeah. But
As much as I can stay here all day, because I know you guys got to go. Because I can do this all night. So don't play with me, guys. I can do this all night with you guys. I'm loving this. Now I know you guys got some projects coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Let us know about it so we can follow you guys. And I know you guys got some books and stuff out, some videos. How can we get all this stuff? Let us know because we need this.
MyMarriageAcademy.com is my marriage academy, right? Okay, sorry guys. Okay, it's mymarriageacademy.com. You can check out all our resources. Like we said, we have our 5-module video series there that goes over the art of communication. Are you really cheating? Which is a good one because a lot of people that like physical cheating is the only cheating, but no, we go a little deep on that one. We talk as well about landmines and abusive behavior and dysfunctional behavior in relationships and what that looks like and how it leads to that and how to actually disarm those areas in your marriage. We also talk about what is it? Just the art of becoming one. The art of becoming one. And there's a few other. There's a lot actually. There's a lot. I can't really go over them all, but there's definitely 5 areas of in our modules. And if you go through that those 5-module video series, you will have a rock solid marriage. It will be the beginning of a rock solid relationship. And even if you're single and you're interested in preparing yourself for a relationship that can be, and actually it'll prepare you to know what to look for so you can avoid a lot of dysfunction too, because we can put a lot of personal development tools in that.
That is so great.
Yeah.
That is so great. And what's your IG handle and your website again?
Also follow us at Marriage Academy as well. So please follow us at Marriage Academy, and on Facebook it's Covenant Marriage Academy.
And because I know COVID has got a lot of people flustered right now in their relationship. So if you're one of those folks that says, man, I don't know if I even like my spouse, man, I don't know if I want to continue to do this, or you know what, I want to do it, but I don't know how. We have a book. We actually have version 2 getting ready to come out now. It's called Outserve Your Spouse. Outserve Your Spouse. And that one is to help you rekindle your marriage. It's a 21-day process that you go through where we literally tell you, okay, today your goal is you need to go buy something for your boo. Here's what you need to do. Write down this. We literally hold your hand each day for 21 days because it takes 21 days to create a new habit. So, hey, guess what? We're going to give you 21 days to rekindle or basically fall right back in love and revive your marriage. So, yeah.
Okay. And before I let you guys go, we just love people here at Joy 105. I honestly, I just want to ask my husband, can we just go move in with them for like a week? Because your spirit is just so genuine and pure. You don't meet people like that all the time. So I just love you guys. I wanted to know, is there any way do you guys have like a Cash App or website or GoFundMe? Can we please? I know you guys don't do this. I know this is out the ordinary for you guys, but I'm sorry, we have to do it. What is your Cash App? How can we donate? How can we sow? Please let us sow. You guys pour out so much. We like to pour into you. Could you please let us know how we can do that?
Yeah, absolutely. We have it's not really, it's
similar to GoFundMe.
It's similar to GoFundMe, but it's a PayPal group, a money pool for our daughter Miracle, and you can hashtag a miracle for miracle. and you can find it there. It's actually also, the link will be in our bio on Instagram as well. So you can also go to Instagram and you can click on the link there, and you can find it there. But thank you so much. We really appreciate all
Okay.
the help and support. Yes.
Will that link be posted today?
Yes. As a
Yeah.
matter
She
of
just put
fact,
it on the screen
yeah,
too. Yeah.
it's
Okay. All right, guys. You see it there, PayPal.
yeah,
Was that a hashtag a miracle for a miracle? So we
a
can go
number
right
for
there on
yes,
PayPal and just go on and give that way, right?
Yes, ma'am.
yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. Well, guys, I know you guys got to go handle your business. First of all,
Yes,
thank you. I am honored. I am honored to have done this today. And my husband's in the background. He's like so excited about this as well. Thank
Wow.
you guys for being a blessing to this
yeah,
nation. You guys, I just see you guys just going abroad and above and beyond. So thank you guys again. We here at Joe 105. Thank you. I cannot thank you enough. So
oh,
go enjoy the rest of your day.
yeah.
And Joe 105, there it is, Marriage Academy. You guys better go follow them like now. Now, 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 now. All right, guys, this is your girl, China Mari. Thank you again and have a blessed afternoon.
Thank
All right,
you.
y'all. Thank
Bye bye.
you.
Bye bye.
All right.